Welcome back to the podcast. So happy to have you here. So breaking the pattern of I don't know. I think this is something that is going to completely change the way that you perceive any situation in your life, and it changes the way that you interact with everything. Because how many times, if you can reflect back, how many times do you say I don't know? I don't know if I want to do that. I don't know if I want to go here. I don't know if this is for me. I don't know what my soul mission is. I don't know what I'm meant to do. I don't know what's next. I don't know what do I feel like eating. I don't know if I want to be with him or her. I don't know if I want to take this job. I don't know. Like, how many times do you say that phrase? And if you can, like, reflect back, into the previous like week, the last day, or the last, moment. When was the last time you said, I don't know? And when did you actually know? And even if you don't think that you actually know, like you do actually know, like, you know, we all know. I think it is a huge scapegoat that we use, thinking, and like it kind of like pushes off any kind of um accountability of ourselves when we say I don't know, because we can be like, well, I don't know, so I'm just like not going to make that next move, or I have some time to figure it out. And it's really like letting yourself anchor into the fact that you do know, like your soul knows, like your body knows, your intuition knows, your higher self knows, like all of that is within you. So you do know. You just have to create either time or space, or just have the to be like, no, I do know, and this is what I'm going to do. And even if you don't think that I think that the biggest things that come up when I say like I don't know is like when you're like afraid to make like the wrong decision, and you're just like, I don't want to make the wrong decision, so I don't know at this time. And like maybe you do need to wait to get more clarity. Maybe sometimes you do have to like take a pause and like redirect yourself. But there is more moments in time that you do know that you have to be like, okay, no, we're going to set ourselves straight and set ourselves aside and just say like, no, we do know what this is and we do know what to do. And then just let the information come forward. So in our lives, and this is like something that has come up for me a lot recently, because it's like we so easily, or I especially so easily, can say, I don't know if this is right for me, or I don't know what the next step is, or I don't know what I would offer, or I don't know if anybody, X, Y, and Z. So I have to look inside myself. We all have to look inside and say, where do we have our inner knowing? And then where are we ignoring that, or where are we setting that off to the side, and allowing ourselves to just kind of like continue to do what we're doing, just for the sake of saying that, like, I don't know what to do next, so I'm just going to continue to do what I'm doing. Oh, well, it's chaotic. Sorry about that. Yeah, so that's where this conversation is really leading. This is where can you look at different aspects that you have that kind of unsure, wishy-washy, lukewarm energy. And that's a huge thing that I'm rewriting within myself, is to to get out of that wishy-washy energy. And I've noticed this a lot within myself, within romantic relationships, even showing up here to the podcast, or to mission-based, um, soul mission-based action, rather than 3D job, or anything else that like you have to do. It's just things where we showing up that is just kind of like wishy-washy. And so you have to start to look like really taking a hard look to be like, all right, where am I in that energy? And then where is the universe coming back at me to reflect that energy back? And so I realized that like, wow, I'm wishy-washy in these certain areas of life and not these certain areas. So where can I bridge those two, or like where can I get clear and direct with what I want and anchoring into what I do know and give myself time to realize what I do know and then go forward in that and then seeing how life plays out after that. And so I've had really beautiful examples already just doing this like this last week of saying like, okay, I'm stepping 2 feet into this situation instead of half in, half out. And I feel like that is such like a protector, protecting yourself of like, okay, I'm not going to fully commit because if I have 1 foot over here and I have 1 foot over here, then that's okay. Cause like I won't be, hurt or it'll be easy to get out of, or it'll be, however, it's the ego that's like kind of being protected and you don't want to do something new in case, it could be possibly scary. So where are you having like 1 foot in and 1 foot out? And where in your life can you just jump in with 2 feet and just be like, all right, I don't know what's going to happen, but we're going to go balls to the walls here and just like have it be for fun. It's, it, at the end of the day, it's all fun what we choose to do because like we get to make our own decisions and figure out like what we want and like where we want to go next, who we want to be with, where we want to live, what do we want to do for work, what kind of next passion project you want to do, what you want to create, what do you want to put out in the world, and just observe where this kind of dipping your toe in, which part of your life is that in? Is that in romantic relationships? Is that in friendships? Is that in your career? Is that in your passion projects? Is that in your art, in the way that you express yourself? Is it in, your appearance? Like, where are you not fully bringing 2 feet into the situation? And if you were to bring 2 feet into the situation, like how would that change your life? And just like experiment it with like maybe like for a week and just be like, all right, let's just jump in and just see what happens. And I have to say, it's been very exciting for me to receive on the other end of that, of actually not feeling, I thought if I had jumped in with 2 feet in certain situations, I would feel really frantic or really like stressed, suffocating. Oh no, like, what if I want to go this way or what if I want to go that way? And I can feel like I thought I was going to feel less freedom. And that's one of my like core values is to feel freedom in any situation that I'm in. And that's why I love to travel. That's why I love to do different things. That's why, I love our freedom of my time and all these things and freedom to go wherever I please. And so freedom to me is one of my biggest values. And I thought if I had committed or if I've committed fully to one lane, maybe one topic of conversation, one job, one, person or whatever, that is for me, I thought I was going to feel less free. And that's what I would constantly run away from, which is the opposite of the case. I think that when you start to really map out and be honest with like what you want and having the commitment in all aspects of life is what makes things actually like worthwhile. Like when you're like, think about like the last time you were committed to something, like you were committed to maybe, you did sports when you were a kid and you were committed to being like the best soccer player or, the best dancer, or you had a project or a speech and you just were fully committed and immersed in that. And what kind of beauty was birthed from that? Like who did you become throughout that from being committed to that, one one thing. And that doesn't mean we can't change our mind and do different things also, but it's like, where are we not fully jumping into the situation that we're being called to? And your intuition will know, like, it'll still keep on nudging you. It'll keep coming up, especially when we talk about like soul mission. And it's funny, like, observing myself from the outside perspective of like my own personal soul mission and how I'm here to help others unlock the voice, and how that in turn is unlocking my voice and continuing my podcast and speaking and showing up just as I am in every situation and all of my experiences, sharing my experiences. So it's I have noticed, even like if I'm not fully committed to my soul mission, it's not going to be fully committed to me. Like if I'm not fully committed to a person, maybe they're not going to be fully committed to me. So it's kind of like, where can we anchor in that energy of that, 2 feet in and jumping into the puddle, making it splash. And either way, it's going to be a beautiful experience because we have put all of our energy there, and we're not just kind of like half-assing it. So I guess, like, where are you half-assing different areas in life, and then where can you full-ass it? Where can you full-ass your life? Yeah, so I was just really thinking about this and just seeing things change, and how I can really put 2 feet into every scenario that I'm in. And even that applies to like things that I'm not fully like wanting to be long term. Like right now, I'm doing a travel nursing assignment in St. Louis, and I was kind of dragging my feet with it. I kind of was just like, oh, I don't want to go back. And I was having a lot of resistance. But then I knew it was the right thing for me to do at this time. And so then I was like looking at myself, I'm like, where can I actually be 2 feet into this and have honor and gratitude within this experience? And then how can I let that shift my whole reality and people that I'm working with, coworkers and patients, and interacting with other people within the hospital system, and schedule, and being here at this place, not even with the job, but like being able to be 2 feet into St. Louis and like really enjoy the experience here and meet people here. And that's how I really operated the last year when I was traveling in different countries, like every month. Every place I landed, I was fully immersed into that place, into that situation. I was fully committed to that experience. And that's what made me feel so free, and what made me feel so connected to living this experience, because I was so immersed in this, in whatever area, whatever I was doing. I was so like immersed in it and living it and 2 feet into it, like, you know? And so where's that, like, how can I do that in my daily life now here? Where am I not being fully, 2 feet into this experience? And so whatever experience you're feeling, even if it's not something that you want to last or you would like to transmute or change, where can you really just be there for the experience, feel everything that experience is there to show you, and really just immerse yourself in it? Like, how can we just be more in it to wherever we are? And then if you really like, I don't want to be 2 feet into this, I don't want to be immersed in this, then that also tells you too, like, okay, take 2 feet out, you know, take the whole body out, take yourself out of the situation completely. Then that also tells us, maybe I shouldn't be 1 foot in this situation or this project or this job or whatever the case it is for you. So, are you be 2 feet in or 2 feet out is my rule of thumb, and that's how I have started to rework how I'm looking at things within life, and not being scared or having fear around having the 2 feet in or the 2 feet out. So I guess let that percolate and see which area of life you can apply this to. So let me know if this resonates with you and which area of life that you are going to jump in or jump out of. I would love to hear. You can message me on Instagram at Eternal Expansion, or you could comment below if you're watching on YouTube. And yeah, I'd love to hear from you, see if this resonates with you. And it's just something that I'm really going through right now and seeing how it just like blossoms within my life. And I've got to say, I'm loving the 2 feet in kind of energy now. And I mean, why would we be doing anything, talking to anybody, being with anybody, living in any place, working at any place, if you're not 2 feet into the situation? Then you're just like kind of living this like dull, like kind of half-assed life, and that never feels good. Like that's why people end up, we end up making these drastic moves and decisions. That was originally like my back in 2018 why I had to like quit everything and restart, because I realized that like I was living a life that I was not even 1 foot in, so we need to start being more 2 feet in, I think. And yeah, send this to someone if you feel like they would utilize it. And I will see you again soon.